Well, the dread has now begun, but unfortunately we're not gonna get a Boku no Hero Academia chapter next week for some strange reason. I don't know what has happening, but whatever it is, it's definitely despair. The Angry and Befriend the Despair reviewer here, and this is Boku no Hero Academia chapter 243. First off, a very cute page of Midoriya and Ochako. But then we have a red thing, which is kind of strange. It shows Ochako, Deku, Shoto, and Bakugo, but also Kirishima and Ashido for some strange reason. Why is Ashido there? Is that supposed to imply that she's gonna play a relevant role in future? We don't know, but it turns out that since they are going to do their new internship, they're actually willing to, in New Year's Eve, to hang with their parents. And so Deku is hanging with his mom again, and indeed she still has her heart attacks, but he is telling her that he has got many accomplishments, as well as a letter from Eri, even though she is not fully understanding the tablet, and many things more. So the fact that, Inko Midoriya has begun to say that ever since Deku was a kid, he has always copied All Might, and you always try to do and need to come back covered in bruises. And even though you did all the power to do, that's why I always thought I had to be the one protecting you. But for so long it's always been like that. But for some reason when I see your face now, I no longer feel worries, as a new flood of water, which is probably Deku screaming out. In the end, Inko is feeling a little bit more calm. Is this meant to foreshadow that Inko is one day gonna die? If you think about it, if there's two ways that Shiriaki can break Deku's soul, and that is if he kills All Might and his mother. I mean, is Shiriaki really so cruel to kill someone's mother like that? Well, granted, he wants to kill everything, so of course. But that's a story for another day. Either way, the internship begins as Hawk is revealed to be, of course, under strict surveillance, because it turns out that there are rankings in this thing, which makes sense. But that annoying skeptic guy, I think it was skeptic guy, is actually keeping tabs on Hawks through microscopic things, and is even still being the arrogant one. You know, I so and completely, utterly loathe him. Don't get me wrong, he's not a bad character, but he is created to be hated, and I deeply hate him. The fact that he seems to say that nothing you do can be hidden from me seems to suggest he has the power to do everything, and that makes me so pissed off! How can you even defeat someone that can see everything? And that actually brought me to a theory. Are we gonna see La Brava one of these days? Because La Brava was said to be a hacker prodigy. Wouldn't that be surprising if she could hack this? Either way, Hawk is under surveillance. So how he's gonna get his news to the cops, no idea. He's actually aware of all of this. So he's saying to him from now on they're gonna do it in code. But how that code is gonna do, I don't know. Either way, Endeavor welcomes then the students. But of course, he only fakes that. He has an acting smile, but then he's back to his previous one. It's the fact that, yes, Endeavor has gone through some character development, but he still only wants to prioritize making his son into a hero, not the rest of them all. But the fact that Bakugo, the main jerk of it all, is the one who's saying that Endeavor is a real stick in the mud. It's actually worth saying that Endeavor and Bakugo in this scenarios are exactly alike. But now they're reversed. You know, Bakugo is always the guy who screams the lines here, and while others are being the straight man. Now it's the complete opposite. Bakugo is being the straight man, while Endeavor is the one who screams. It's even for the first time in a very long while, actually, not implied, but stated by others, how much Endeavor and Bakugo are alike. And the one who's actually saying that is All Might. Bakugo and All Might, Bakugo and all, ugh. Bakugo and Deku had a meeting with All Might, and he told them about everything else and the training, and he believed that studying under Endeavor would be very great for them. But the fact that he said it would be best for Bakugo as well, because he shares many similarities with Endeavor. But he's talking about the current Endeavor. They're both aiming to be the top heroes, and they both believe that strength is the only thing that you need to have when it comes to being a hero. And they both have very abrasive personalities, although I cannot really say who is the worst of them all. Granted, Endeavor has done a lot more worse things than Bakugo have yet, so we'll see. But the fact that Endeavor is saying that Shoto is not him, no. But then villain attacks happens as Endeavor moves out, but the students of course follow him because they are like them and watch me from staying behind. And the villains are being attacked by a strange guy who has a quirk that allows him to telekinetically control balls as he's floating on that. Is that a member of the Liberation Front? He's saying something like, I have obtained revelation from the heavens, run all the citizens of the country, run. The smile of Hades shine royally on thee. Given to the fact that that may actually imply from, Shiriaki, then yeah, this is very likely a villain from that Liberation Front. And then saying the fact that he's saying the end is near. What makes this even stranger the fact that Hawk is on the scene, reading the book of the Special Liberation Army Front, and saying, man, talk about bad timing. So why is he there? Is he forced to do something to once again get in the good graces of the Liberation Front? Or is it something else? And this guy, why is he doing this? I mean, this guy must very likely be from the Meta Liberation Army's new villain alliance. Because, as Ridestro said, Shiriaki, everything else. Shiriaki want to destroy everything. And this guy seems to be a religious loon. So, it's very likely that he took everything that Shiriaki said to heart and says that the world is gonna die, so we're gonna die it all of now. The question is though, why is Hawks there? Is he there because he has been giving something else? And why is he saying talk about bad timing? Is he talking about something else? I don't know. What I do know is that I smell a despair coming. Endeavor is not happy about having Deku and Bakugo there. He only took them in because of Shoto. And he only wants to level up Shoto. But will, after this things change? Endeavor is a jackass, don't get me wrong. But he can teach other people to become stronger. If he just realizes that there are more important people to train than just his son. So we'll see, won't we? But again, there will not be a My Hero Academia chapter next week, for reasons unknown. But you can give me your thoughts currently if you have any.